Hey again from the garden, it's Christina from Sunshine and Flora. So this morning I'm out in the hoop house, I'm harvesting flowers, so I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to set up the camera and show you this process. It's very easy, and I am getting ready for my biggest market of the season, which is next week. These are blooming almost at the perfect time. I should have staggered blooms now through the rest of next week, and I think I'm going to have a lot of beautiful sunflowers for my market. Thank goodness. When you plant them, you never know how it's going to time out. So we're going to do this first, and then we're actually going to pop back into the store, and I have a flower arrangement that I need to make this morning and deliver, and so I'm going to show you that as well. But first we're going to get these sunflowers harvested. So these were all direct sown in the hoop house on July 23rd. Today is September 12th. So less than 60 days to bloom on these. I typically have my sunflowers bloom, at least some of them before 60 days. Some of them say they will bloom 50 to 60 days. These are all Pro-Cut sunflowers. Most of them are the standard, I think they're the Pro-Cut Orange. Pro-Cut Orange or Pro-Cut Horizon is what I plant. Just, you know, the standard looking orange sunflower. Now, I did have an area to the front here that I think dried out a little bit and they weren't germinating the best. So I came back in and re-sowed about a week later some Pro-Cut Reds. And so I may have some of those mixed in, but basically all the way to the back, they're all the nice orange ones. And I harvested a whole bunch yesterday too. They're in the cooler, so I will show you that. And I've got just a few weeds coming up in here, of course. You're probably wondering why I sowed them in the hoop house. Well, this was the only open bed that I had. The open bed that I had outside was a disaster. It was hard packed. And this is really great soil in here. And they grow awesome in here. So I'll zoom in a little closer in a second, but basically what you do to harvest sunflowers, you can cut them all the way down. I just cut them at the length that I need them. And then I pull most of the leaves off. I usually leave a couple of the leaves. Oh, there's a little bug there that I don't want to go inside. I usually leave 2 or 3 leaves kind of up around the flower. And then I like to just drop the leaves back down in my bed. They'll either break down back into the soil or they'll act as a weed barrier till they're done with the season, but I just kind of cut and drop. And I like to harvest sunflowers. Actually, let's move the camera. I want to show you one up close. This is a really nice stage to harvest, but there actually is a sooner stage that you can harvest than this that's perfect. Will give you the longest lasting sunflowers. So this is the earliest stage right here that I like to harvest my sunflowers, when the petals are just lifting off the face of the dark center. So I was out here yesterday harvesting and harvested a bunch, both at the stage where the petals are kind of lifting straight out and at the stage where they are just barely lifting off the face. But any sooner than that, I kind of shy away from harvesting them. But once you see the first petals lifting up off that dark face of the sunflower, I go ahead and harvest them. Now, I've got one here where they're lifting off the face, but there's a little bee sleeping and I don't want to disturb him, so I'm going to leave him for now and I'll come back and check on him later. Actually, I want to show you what a couple of these look like. They look like they're almost ready, but they're actually a little bit too early. So this is the one that I just showed you is a really good stage to harvest. See how the petals are just starting to lift off the face of the sunflower? These right here are very close. The petals are starting to open up, but they are not yet lifting off of the face of the sunflower. They're close. They'll probably be ready tomorrow or the next day, probably tomorrow, but they're not quite ready yet. I like to wait until they're lifting. You can see this one from the side, the petals are lifting up. This one's getting harvested. Okay, so I'm just gonna go through the hoop house. I'm gonna harvest as many as I can, and then we're gonna take them inside. I'll show you where I'm storing them at my cooler, what temperature I'm storing them at, and then we'll get started on that flower arrangement. I should also mention that when I direct sow my sunflowers, I typically plant them about 4 inches apart. The closer you plant your sunflowers, the smaller the head of the sunflower is. And I don't love a tiny sunflower bloom, but I also don't like a full-sized big one. It just gets too big to work within those wrapped bouquets or vase arrangements. So planting them 4, maybe 5 inches apart gives me the perfect size of bloom that I like to work with. All right, here's my bunch of sunflowers for this morning. Not bad for being out here for about 10 minutes. They are absolutely perfect. I'm so excited to have these for next week. You know, you plant them and you just don't know how it's going to time out. I think I timed them the best this year. And of course, I will keep harvesting over the next week for this. Now, one other thing, when you cut them off and keep the stalk in the ground, sometimes they will sprout again and give you little miniature sunflowers, and you can use in mini bouquets or arrangements. So I may get some of those as well. All right, let's head inside and get that arrangement started. Okay, so we're back in the building and I have the flowers in the cooler and I just want to show you where they are. So up here on the top shelf, I have 2 really nice buckets of sunflowers started. These are just going to live in here on the shelf until next week. And how I've got my cooler powered, which if you watch my videos, you've seen this. I've got an air conditioner here and then a CoolBot off to the side that overrides that temperature and cools this whole room. So the CoolBot itself I have set to 38. It tends to run between 38 and 42 in there. It fluctuates a little bit. I do have a dehumidifier running in there to try to keep the humidity down. I've had a little bit of moisture troubles in there, so I've got to kind of tweak that, but that will be once flower season is over and I'm not actually using the cooler. This is going to run and keep everything cool through next week as I harvest from the garden. My big harvest day will probably be, probably harvest some on Tuesday, a lot of it on Wednesday, design on Thursday, the market is Friday. So I want to harvest everything as close to the market as possible, but you know, these sunflowers I cannot let go. So I'm harvesting them now and they will live in there and be just fine. You know, flowers can last quite a while in the cooler and I'm harvesting most of those really closed. So they're going to be good. But anyway, let's get started on the vase arrangement. I'm going to use this cute little pink vase. This is a $50 arrangement. I have some sunflowers. I've got 6 set aside here. I don't know if I'll use all of them. I have a little bit of this goldenrod or solidago. This is blooming in our area. I actually used a whole field of this for a senior photo session the other day and it was really beautiful. I like to use that every year in my bouquets. And then I've got some status and a few snapdragons. I've got like two snapdragons. I don't have very many right now. And this I actually sourced just to test out because I kind of wanted to see if I ever wanted to use it in the future, if I would want to grow this or source it for winter bouquets as a filler. These are white asters. So I will fully admit I did not grow this, but they are really cute. And I've actually cut a couple stems off because I wanted to test them kind of just out in the room temperature. But you get one stem and there's like 8 to 10 stems per one stem and they just break off and they're so cute. So we're going to be using some of these today in the vase too. I am going to, as I get this put together, I'm going to pop out into the garden and probably cut some Sahara Rudbeckia just to fill in. maybe a couple zinnias. I kind of want to save the zinnias. So probably just the Sahara Rudbeckia. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let the camera roll. I'm going to get this put together, and then I'll talk a little bit more when it's done. All right, you guys, here is the arrangement. I am absolutely thrilled with how this turned out. Oh my goodness. This is absolutely beautiful. The pink matches perfectly with the vase, which I knew it would kind of blend. I love the pop of white in here. I love that we have the goldenrod that will continue to open a little bit. I just happen to have my Chimney Rudbeckia opening, which I put 5 in there. And it goes with the sunflowers. The 2 snapdragons are perfect as kind of the spikes, and then I use the aster as the spike too. I am not a trained florist. I have never taken a floral class. So some of you may be looking at this thinking, well, she didn't follow the guidelines. I don't even know if there are guidelines, but I am just thrilled with how this looks. So you also notice that I put a little flower food in. I have these Cristal or Crisol, whatever it's called, flower packets that when I do arrangements that are going out for delivery, I do like to put that flower food in the water. So I added that first, then added the water and just started arranging. And I am really happy. I hope she loves it. It's for a birthday delivery. So with that, I'm going to conclude this video because I actually have to go deliver this. And then I've got to open the storefront. So I hope you guys enjoyed seeing this video. This weekend, I'm harvesting all of my pumpkins, so I will set my camera up for that. And then next week is my biggest market of the year, and I'm going to take you guys along. They actually told me I could bring house plants, and so I'm going to be bringing plants to the market too, which I am so excited. That's just going to add to the booth. Because as you know, I don't have as many flowers as I had in past years, which thank goodness my sunflowers and my status are blooming, because that's going to be the bulk of my wrapped bouquets are going to be status and sunflowers with some other things. My mahogany splendor hibiscus is looking great, so that's going to get harvested too. But and my zinnias, thank goodness my zinnias are coming back. But anyway, I'm going to stop rambling. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends, and stay tuned for a lot of videos coming up. Have a great day.